Hello everyone, welcome to my course, and in this module we are going to discuss about high availability and disaster recovery solution in Azure SQL. Now let's talk about the high availability. Microsoft will guarantee that your database will available 99.99% of time. It means that server upgrading, patching, any software, hardware or network failure, Microsoft will make sure that your database will available. And there are two types of architecture models for high availability. The first is standard availability models and second is premium availability models. As a high availability is managed by the Microsoft, I do not have any specific demo for this. And if you want to learn how the Microsoft will manage a high availability, then please visit this website. You will get complete detail about the high availability. Now let's discuss about the disaster recovery solution. Now Microsoft provide three types of disaster recovery solution. First is automatic database backup, which we discussed in module number 3. The second is Auto-Failover Groups, and the third is active geo-replication. Now let's understand what is active geo-replication. Now let's understand this image. You will get overall idea about the active geo-replication. Active geo-replication is a feature in an Azure SQL database. Allow you to create a readable secondary database copy in a same or a different region. Active geo-replication is leverage a always-on high availability group technology, which allow you to send a data or which allow you to replicate your data between primary servers and secondary servers. Now, this active geo-replication is a quick DR solution in case of any primary region outage. You can create up to 4 secondary database in a same or a different region. Now the secondary database are readable. It means that you can send all the read intensive query to the secondary database. For example, a report purpose or Power BI report or SSRS report. Now the best practice is that the primary region and secondary regions are in the same compute size and same service tier to get a performance benefit. Now in active geo-replication, the data transfer from primary to secondary are asynchronously. It means that the data commit on a primary server first before sending to the secondary server. And the active geo-replication works like this. If any request come using the load balancer, if the query is read-write intensive, then you can send to the primary server, and if it is a read-only intensive, then it's go to the secondary server. So now I hope you will get some idea about the active geo-replication. Now in the demo section, we are going to create a database and we are going to configure the active geo-replication. Now let's discuss about the failover groups. Now the active geo-replication is a database level configuration, while a failover group is a server level configuration, where you can configure a group of database. And it is a top of the active geo-replication technology, and auto-failover groups provide automatic failures. Now let's understand what is the difference between active geo-replication and failover groups. The first is automatic failover. Automatic failover feature is not available in an active geo-replication, but in a failover groups it's possible. Fail over multiple databases simultaneously. In active geo-replication is not possible because you can configure only one database or a pool of database, while in the failover group it's possible. User must update the connection string after failover. Let's understand this point. Let's say your application is right now pointing to the primary server, and if your primary server goes down, you have to manually change your connection string so all the coming request is moved to the secondary server. Now in the failover group it's not required because we have a listener and listener will take care. SQL managed instance support is not available in active geo-replication, but failover group, yes, SQL managed instance support can be in the same region as a primary. Now in the active geo-replication, you can create a secondary copies in a same region or a different region. But in the failover group, it's not possible. Okay. Multiple replica, it's possible in ActiveGeo application, but in failover group, it's not possible. And support a read scale, both can support a read scale. It means that you can read the secondary database for reporting purpose. Now in the demo section, we are going to create a database. We are going to configure the ActiveGeo application on a database level, as well as we are going to configure the failover groups on a server level, and we are manually failover the primary server and secondary server. See you in the demo. Hello everyone, welcome to my course, and in this video I will show you how to configure failover groups in Azure SQL. Now in the last video we seen how to configure ActiveGeo application. Now ActiveGeo application is a database level configuration, while failover groups is a server level configuration where you can configure one and more databases. Also here I am going to use a same server which created earlier. So go to the SQL server and select primary server. Inside the primary server we have two databases, DB1 and DB2. Now go to the data management, and inside the data management we have failover groups. So click failover groups, add group and give the name. So primary server demo 1. Okay, great. This is a failover group name. Now select the server. So select your secondary server. Now here I am going to create new server. Give the name. Okay, give the login name. And select the location. So here I am going to select East US 2 and click select. After that you have to select read write failover policy, either it's automatic or failover. Let's go with the automatic. And read write grace period hours. So minimum it's a 1 hour. I go with the minimum grace period 1 hour. And here you have to select the databases that you want to add in the failover groups. So I am going to add both databases, DB1 and DB2. So these databases are in the primary server. I am adding into the failover groups. Click select, click create. Now here you can see deployment is started. Deployment is in progress. Refresh it. So now the group is successfully added. This is my primary group name. This is my primary server. This is my secondary server. I have choose read write failover policy automatic and grace period is 60 minutes. Let's click here and you can see here still the database setting is going on. 50% is completed. Let's wait. And you can see here my primary server, it's a primary, and my secondary server is secondary. And this is my server address where I need to connect from SSMS. So now the setting is completed. Let me use this address. Go to the SQL server. Give the username and password. This is actually a listener address, and in the background it will connect to the primary server. See here. So if you see this address is primary server demo1.database.windows.net. If I run any query, Let me run the query. And give the server name here. In the background, it is connected to the primary server because right now my primary server is this one. And inside this primary server, I have two databases, DB1 and DB2. Okay. Now, the best benefit of these failover groups, let's say in case of any issue, your secondary become a primary and your primary become a secondary, you do not need to change your connection string. It will automatically manage. Let's do manual failover. So seeding is started. Yeah. Now failover group failover succeed. Now my secondary server demo become a primary and the primary server becomes secondary. Let me go to the secondary server and add my IP address. Add client IP, save. Okay, now go to the primary server, failover groups. Now right now my secondary server is a primary and my primary server is secondary. Let's connect to the SQL server. So let me run this query again. Now you can see here my select query is pointing to the secondary server demo 1. Earlier it's a primary and I have not changed my address. So if you use this server configuration in your connection string, it will automatically in the background it will be automatically switch the secondary server. So no need to change connection string. There is no downtime is required. Please practice. See you in the next video.